long, just somebody send me one of those nasty little emojis. I'll stop.
All right, good morning and welcome to the virtual college exploration for all North and South Carolina students, sponsored by the Carolinas Association of Collegiate Registrars and Admissions Officers in StripeScan. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A box on your screen to type any questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are turned off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule at CACRAO.org. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website, CACRAO.org. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to our presenters.
Good morning. We'll introduce ourselves first. My name is Dave Evanson. I'm the Vice President for Athletics and Director of Athletics at Methodist University in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Hello, my name is Corey Brown. I am a regional admissions counselor for Randolph College, and I handle North Carolina, South Carolina, and many other states.
My name is Sterling Woodruff, and I'm an admissions counselor at Brevard College here in Western North Carolina, and I deal with North Carolina and South Carolina students.
So I'm going to share my screen now. We've put together a PowerPoint slideshow that we're going to walk through with you this morning. Just bear with me here and I'll pull that up. Okay, each one of us is going to take 10 minutes or so just to talk to you about today's session, what it takes and what it's like to be a Division III student athlete, NCAA Division III athletics. We appreciate everyone taking the time to join us today. I think the most important point for those on the webinar today is, in order to get to this process of being a Division III student athlete, it's a quite cumbersome process. And it starts with the admissions application. It's never too early for you that are interested in looking at colleges and universities to start the admissions process. And that admissions process at every university is different. A lot of universities will waive application fees if you do the application online, but that's step one in the process. And I know that, you know, under the scenarios we're with COVID right now, SAT and ACT, I encourage you to explore, you know, your university and colleges that you're looking at to see what their SAT, ACT policies are. Are they test optional at this point in time? Some universities and colleges have gone test optional. So I encourage you to reach out to all of your interested colleges and just to see their protocols and how they're handling the testing process. The other important thing, in October, you'll be able to file for financial aid, and that's an extremely important part of the process for Division III prospective student athletes. Campus visits, again, with the COVID-19 campus visits will be very different at every university. Some campus visits will be virtually. Some campuses are taking live campus visits at this point in time. And I think that's a great way for you, if you can get to a campus and see it for yourself. I mean, I'm going to show you a bunch of really nice slides. We're all going to show you some great slides and some really nice pictures. But in order for you to get the real feel of what a college campus is all about, you need to get there and you need to see it. For student athletes, it's very important that you contact the coaching staff at the university and college that you're interested in, so you can express that, you know, you're interested in them, and they may be reaching out to you as well, letting you know that they're interested in you. Producing statistics, producing videos, recommendations. The NCAA also has something called the clearinghouse. While Division III student athletes do not have to go through the NCAA clearinghouse, if you're interested in Division I and Division II, they do. But it is a great process to go through to establish an NCAA ID number. So I think it is a good process regardless of what division you're looking at potentially attending. The recruiting process. The recruiting process at the Division III level, you know, the coaching staff will, at most scenarios, obviously COVID has changed some of these things, We'll be able to be out on the road contacting student athletes. But I think in the recruiting process, you'll be expecting to receive lots of mailers, lots of emails, phone calls. And I think it's important through the recruiting process for a Division III prospective student athlete that you're very honest and upfront with people that contact you. If you're interested in their university, please tell them that. And then if you're not, as you've gone through the process, I think it's important to tell them that too, and to be honest and upfront in the entire process. Let's talk a little bit for a second about the Division III overall philosophy. Division III, and I'll show you the next slide here, just to give you a snapshot of the different divisions and the different sizes. Division III is by far the largest division in terms of the number of colleges and universities that are in this division. We have over 400 colleges and universities that are part of Division III. We have the highest number of participants, number of student athletes. And I think that the biggest misconception about Division III is, well, you don't give athletic scholarships, so I'm not interested in looking at Division III. And I think that's something that I will caution everybody that's not the case. Division III produces some outstanding student athletes who are high quality and for whatever reason did not get a scholarship. And I think that the two pieces on this slide that talks about the percentage of athletic scholarships, only 57% of all student athletes receive some level of athletic aid at Division I. So just because they play for a Division I institution doesn't mean they're getting an athletic scholarship. 63% at Division II. So if 80% of Division III student athletes receive some level of academic scholarships. And that's really, the overarching philosophy of a Division III institution is we want the student athletes to experience their full plate. We want them to have a great experience in the classroom, to get on their path to receive a degree, to help them go live their dream in their life in the field of study that they want to pursue. We want them to have an unbelievable academic experience or athletic experience on the field of play, playing a sport that they absolutely love. And then we want them to be involved in campus activities. And I think that's the piece, some people say, well, a lot of times at the higher levels, it's almost like a job. In Division III, that's not the case. I mean, you can go be part of the Student Government Association. You can go be a student body president. You can get involved in clubs and organizations. So that's really the overarching philosophy of Division III is we want you to have a great experience in every part of the college experience so you can help become more well-rounded as you move off into the real world as you get out of college. A couple things about Methodist University for those of you that are unfamiliar with Methodist. We're located in Fayetteville, North Carolina. We have 20 Division III athletic programs. Enrollment, we have an undergraduate programs at Methodist. We have master's programs. We have a doctor of physical therapy. So our overall enrollment is around 2,300 students, including all of those. We take pride in great athletic success and great academic success. We take pride in having both. If you're going to be successful in the field and not successful in the classroom, that's not our vision, that's not our mission, that's not what we're striving to do. We've had some great success in years past with Division III national championships, all conference players, but probably what we're most proud of is the fact that our academic success of our student athletes. This past year, we had 112 student athletes that made academic all conference, and we had over 230 scholar athletes for the year. So we want it to be a high level of success in both areas. Sports that we offer, on the men's side, we offer baseball, basketball, cross country, football, and golf. We also offer lacrosse, soccer, tennis, indoor and outdoor, track and field. Obviously in the South, indoor track and field, we don't have an indoor track, so our indoor track is our outdoor track. But when we compete, we'll obviously be in an indoor track environment. On the women's side, we offer basketball, cross country, cheerleading, golf, and lacrosse, softball, soccer, tennis, indoor and outdoor track and field, and volleyball. You'll see some of our facilities. We've added some really, really beautiful facilities. The one on the top there is our tennis facility. We just added that 2 years ago. And I think, as you continue down this process and you try to find your fit, and to me, that's what college is all about, is where you fit in. I'm an alum of Methodist. This is where I went to college. I've been here a very long time, and it fits me. It's where I belonged. When I came here to look at the school in 1991, I knew right away that this is where I belonged, and this is where I was going to thrive and do well. So I encourage all of you, as you're going through the process, it doesn't matter where you go to college. It matters what is best for you, where you'll fit in the best, where you'll thrive the best, and make the biggest difference. So if we can answer any questions as we go to the end, I'll leave that for the end and turn it over to our colleague from Randolph College.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Corey Brown, and I was a student athlete at Randolph College. I graduated in 2016. I was a sociology major and a basketball player for 4 years. So I'm excited to express a little bit about Randolph College here for you guys. So first and foremost, Randolph College is located in Lynchburg, Virginia, founded in 1891. Doors opened up in 1893. We were formerly an all-women's school that went co-ed in 2007. So when we went co-ed in 2007, we dropped the Macon, which we were known as Randolph-Macon Women's College. So we were the sister school to Randolph-Macon. But now we dropped the Macon, and now no affiliation between the two, besides the fact that we're in the same conference. Just a little bit of the admission side of things first and foremost. When you apply to Randolph, we are on Common App, but we do also have our own app free of charge on our website. And we are test optional. So being test optional, we open the doors, obviously with COVID and everything like that. Some people have not been able to take advantage of taking tests. Other optional items, letters of recommendation, portfolio, resume, essay, things like that. We will gladly accept all of that and look forward to helping you get into the college. Some of the requirements for us, or some of what our averages have been over the past few years: median GPA 3.3, median SAT 1080, and then the median ACT is 23. So obviously below and higher. Just a few things that kind of give you guys some eyeballs for how to apply. On the athletic side of things, because we are student athletes, student being the key thing first, as Dave spoke to earlier, being a Division III athlete, you're going to have to balance a lot. And in that balance, your coaches also understand that you are a student first. So we pride ourselves on having a great amount of successful student athletes inside and outside of the classroom. We are a member of the Old Dominion Athletic Conference, ODAC for short, where we have 18 varsity sports. Since 2007, we have had 6 All-Americans in different sports, from basketball, soccer, softball, and volleyball, actually. 85 student athletes last year were honored on the all ODAC academic team. And then last year we had 6 students honored on the VA SID all academic team as well. Some of our teams here at Randolph, on the men's side, we have basketball, cross country, esports, lacrosse, tennis, track, soccer, and swimming. On the women's side, basketball, cross country, esports, lacrosse, tennis, track, soccer, softball, swimming, and volleyball. So a great amount of sports, obviously different sports, and we are very competitive in each and every single sport. Esports is the newest addition this past year. So we're looking to flourish in the esports side of things. Currently in the first year, we've had 30 students on our team. So looking to add to it. So if you're involved in esports and video gaming, we definitely have that here at Randolph. Just some of our contact information. If you ever want to, visit us, we have a virtual tour on our website. That top link will take you to that and other ways to visit campus. And then below that, our Randolph College athletic page, where you can sign up for a athletic questionnaire to fill out and send to coaches for your respective sports. Like I said, being a former student athlete, Randolph allowed me to balance being in the classroom and out on the court. Also to take advantage of research opportunities, internships, and things like that. So once again, student athlete balance is a great balance at Division III schools, where they look for you to be successful inside and outside of the field of competition.
Hi, my name is Sterling Woodruff, and I'm one of the admissions counselors at Brevard College. We are a small liberal arts school in Western North Carolina in Brevard, about 30 minutes south of Asheville. Our current enrollment right now is about 760, so we're a nice small school. We're also a sports school. We have a lot of students that are athletes, and they're often drawn to our school because it is a Division III school. As a student athlete at our school, you are responsible for maintaining a good communication between your professors and your coaches. However, a lot of the coaches and the faculty are our spouses, so they know what's going on, and they're going to expect you to maintain your part of the agreement to be a good student athlete at the college. Division III schools often attract students that are in it for the love of the game, and they come here with goals for their academic success as well as their sports success. Over 60% of our student body are student athletes. Our academic overall GPA is 3.1, and the department's overall cumulative GPA was 3.1. We have 32 student athletes that had perfect 4.0s that semester, and over 110 college student athletes were named to the Dean's List, and we had 78 last year on the honor roll. So as you can see, we work to make sure that you have an academic life as well as a sports life as well. Brevard College is in its first year as a member of the Division III athletics. We have 19 varsity sports, and 16 of those are in Division III. We have men's and women's soccer, lacrosse, tennis, cross country, basketball, track and field, and we also have men's football and baseball and women's softball and volleyball. We had a great first year last year. Our football team beat Carnegie Mellon University to win the ECAC Scotty Whitelaw Bowl in 2019. We're very proud of that. And as somewhat of a reward, the college has completed a new football stadium called the Limmel Family Field, which includes our football, soccer, and lacrosse sports. And we also have a brand new 10,000 square foot field house that houses locker rooms for 6 sports. We have classrooms in there and laboratory space. And it's almost finished. It's ready. The doors are ready to open in early October for that. So we're already enjoying the field. It's getting a lot of use and practice, and the students really like it. In addition to our Division III sports, we also have mountain biking, road biking, gravel, and cyclocross, and they've won 11 national titles. And we also have cheerleading and climbing as well. So we have something for just about everybody. If you'd like some more information, you're welcome to go to Brevard Tornadoes, where you can reach the staff and coaching directory. You can contact them and discuss possibly coming for a campus visit, and they will give you a specialized tour of that sports specific athletics information. You'll get better tours with them, as well as a campus tour with me and admissions, and they can let you know about where you stand as far as recruitment onto the team. We do have recruiters that go out to look for athletes, and Brevard sports is a big part of our school, and it goes hand in hand nicely with our academics. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to stop the screen share right now and then go to a question and answer panel. If you have questions that you'd like to ask, you can put it through the Q&A chat for any of our panelists, and we'll be happy to answer those for you. So I don't know if any of the other panelists want to add any other comments or anything. I'm looking at the Q&A, and I'll continue to look at it as questions may come in. But if there's anything else you wanted to add from your perspective, from your institutions.
I guess I'll add a little bit to what I was speaking on earlier about having that time to balance on the field and extracurriculars. At Randolph, I know a big thing for us is internships, or getting students, I should say, the hands-on experience. So internships, research programs, study abroad opportunities, things like that will all be able to be taken advantage of. I think a little more so while you're a Division III athlete. Those type of opportunities will allow you to get that firsthand experience. So by the time you graduate, you can graduate with a resume that already has some necessary steps in your career path while being an athlete. So you get the best of both worlds, I think, in Division III schools. So that's just also something to keep in mind.
I would also like to add that because Division III schools are not eligible for sports scholarships, Brevard College also has half tuition scholarships and merit scholarships. So if you're a student in North Carolina or South Carolina and you graduate from a school in those two states, you qualify for half tuition, which is about $14,200. If you're outside of those two schools, you can apply for merit scholarships, and both of those will renew every year. So you know, God forbid you get hurt while you're playing your sport, you're not going to lose your scholarship based on your ability to play. So it also takes some of the pressure off that way as well.
I think that's a great point. You know, back in the former days when I did coach, you know, that was always a question that I got from families. If something happens to me, if I get injured playing my sport, you know, how does that impact my financial aid? And there's zero impact to your financial aid. I think that's an excellent point. And I think that, you know, as you're going through this process and you're looking at colleges and universities, you know, go through the entire process to the points that was made by both of the other panelists. Don't just look at, oh my goodness, you know, college is expensive, which it is, but go through the process to see what the school is really going to cost. It costs everybody different amounts of money because everyone has different academic profiles, different financial need levels, but truly go through the process to see. And I think so many people are surprised when they do that. They get through the process and go, oh, wow, I didn't really think this was going to become a reality for me. And it does. So I just continue to encourage everybody to go through the final stage of the process, get your applications in so you can go through the admissions process, get your financial aid applied for, so you can truly know what the university is going to cost you at the end of the day. There's a question that came up and just asked, you know, can we expand a little bit more on how the process works of you know, going through the process to get to a Division III institution? And I think, you know, to me, number one, for you, if you're a prospective student, is do your research first on all the universities. Look to see if they have what you want to study. You know, you're going to be contacted potentially by a lot of institutions that have gotten your name because someone has recommended you to them that you would be a good fit. Some of the institutions may not have what you want. So do your research to begin with. See if it's the location you want. See if it has the academic programs of study that you want. And start from that point. And then do your application and your financial aid ASAP. And then to me, and this is just my opinion only, I'm not saying you have to do this, but to me, getting on campus and seeing the school is vitally important to be able to make that decision. Again, we all have fancy brochures, we all have beautiful pictures, and everybody does. But it's when you get on the campus and you go, this is a good fit for me, meet the people, do as much interacting as you can potentially do during the COVID situation. And it's more challenging now for sure than it's been in the past. But there's still ways for you to do those things to be able to make a great decision. I'll turn it over to the other panelists to add anything else on that.
I was going to say the visit part is the key. Like he said, I know with COVID and everything, it's a little harder, a little more challenging, but you have to visit these schools. Go visit I think any school that you have slight interest in, go visit. Because as he said, there's something about when you get to a campus, certain campuses are going to give you a feeling of this is home. This is where I need to be. Once you're meeting the people and you're walking through the buildings or walking by the buildings and things like that, you'll get a feeling. So I just want to express and reiterate, go visit as many schools as you possibly can. Like I said, if you have any bit of interest, go visit because you never know what it might turn into.
And I think the final thing that I'll offer on this is, keep all your doors open and keep all your options open, because you just never know how the process is going to work out. If people are interested, I think you should listen to them and keep those as a potential option. Sometimes in the sports world and recruiting, some people see Division III and they go, well, I'm going to get a scholarship at Division I or Division II, and I don't need to worry about that. But don't turn any of those options away, because you never know how it's going to turn out at the end. So always leave yourself every option available. I mean, you just sometimes never know how this is going to work out. I grew up in Pennsylvania, and I ended up at a small Division III school in Fayetteville, North Carolina. It's where I belong, but I couldn't explain it at the time. I never heard of Methodist University until I came to visit, and it just happened to be a great fit for me. So you just never know how it's going to work out. So always leave as many options open as you can. So another question came in. I was muted. I have the worst time with that on Zoom. It just talks about the process, maintaining good grades, good GPAs. And I think that's a great, and I'm sure the other panelists will chime in as well, but the better you can do academically in high school, the more doors you will have open for yourself. The more that you can have on your plate and in your toolbox with clubs, organizations, recommendations, but your academic performance in high school will open many more doors for you when you go into college, for sure. Absolutely.
And as far as being a college student as well, I'm sure a lot of schools, including Brevard College, have set blocks of time where there are no academic classes, so that students are not having to choose one or the other. You do have time to practice. You have time for your sports and athletics. And then there are also set times where there are no practices, so that students can manage their time and be effective and learn good skills so they can balance their time well while they're at school.
And just to kind of add to that, like I said, being a former student athlete myself, you'd be amazed at how you fall into your own routine within a couple weeks. You get there, you're thinking, oh man, how am I going to have time for this? Or, how will I have time for this? And you really just fall into place of a routine. Sometimes you don't even know it until you look back and say, oh, I kind of have just gotten used to this thing. But I also think, being there, like I said, your coaches know you are a student first, and you're going to be treated like that. So a lot of times you'll be able to mix in and, like I said, fall into that routine, figure out, okay, I have time to study between study halls with your team or things like that. Everyone has their own schedule. So it will fall into place.
Well said. Time management when you get to college is a critical component. But I think that the advantage of being a student athlete is you have a larger support system. You have a group of folks that are like a family to you, and the support system for someone to always look after you, I think, is vitally important when you go to college, because it's so very different than anything you've been exposed to in your life. It's very good. It's awesome. Those of you that are going to college are going to love it. But to have the extra component of a team, it really is an extra benefit for sure.
All right. Well, if we don't have any other further questions, we will go ahead and wrap this session up. Thank you all for joining us today. When you close this window, there will be a very quick link to a survey, which is about 4 questions. We'd really appreciate any feedback that you can provide. Also, this is just one of many sessions being hosted by CACRAO, so feel free to check out some of the other programs that we have going on at CACRAO.org. As well, in about a week, you will be able to get a link to this session's recording, as well as any other sessions recordings at CACRAO.org. Thank you all for joining us, and we hope you have a great day.